showcase of the briefcase.
The National Treasury Cabinet Secretary, Henry Rotich, gave a breakdown on how the government intends to spend money in the year 2017-2018. One of the most vocalized issues is devolution, with governors consistently demanding for greater allocation of funds to facilitate service provision at the counties.
In 2017-2018, we are providing to the counties 291.1 billion as shareable revenue and another 38 billion conditional allocations, which include support from our development partners. Mr. Speaker, this brings the total allocation to the county government to 329.3 billion, which is equivalent to 35.2% of the most recently audited revenue approved by the National Assembly.
Even as the governors get more money, the concern has been that a lot of it often gets swallowed by salaries, a shared problem with the national government. 50% of the taxes Kenyans pay go to the pockets of 2% of the population, and the government is struggling to afford this and seeking to implement austerity measures.
In the spirit of controlling the growth of wage bill, new recruitments will remain frozen except for limited technical staff, security personnel, teachers, and health workers.
While jobs may not be as available in government, there are many people who are jobless in Kenya, and this is one of the greatest concerns. The government is trying to tame the unemployment beast, which it seeks to address through billions of shillings in allocation to various manufacturing-related purposes.
I also propose to amend the Income Tax Act to allow enterprises licensed under the Special Economic Zone to deduct 100% of the investment cost of building and machinery. This will enable such enterprises to recover cost of investment within the first year of utilization.
While many remain desperate because of their joblessness, struggling to shoulder the burden of the rising cost of living, a number of options come to play, such as playing in bets and gambles. However, as they seek solace in the luck that may visit their hope-laden hearts as they bet away, the government has opted for what it deems a better way to manage sprouting issues.
Betting and gaming have become widespread in our society in an environment that is inadequately regulated. Its expansion is beginning to have negative consequences, negative social effects, in particular on the youth and the vulnerable members of our society. I therefore propose to raise taxes for betting, lottery, gaming, and competition from the current rates of 7.5%, 5%, 12%, 15% respectively, to a uniform tax of 50% for all categories.
That desire must be weighed. If you do 15 to 50%, are you putting them out of business, and how are you going to do with the ones on the street corners if the intention is to put them out of business? I want there to be a law.
The government had last year given incentives in housing to investing in the same, which would ideally see lower cost of housing. This does not seem to have borne much fruit, as the Cabinet Secretary has once again, in his this year's speech, called on investors to exploit the options and build more affordable houses. The burden to build the House of Kenya, nonetheless, still remains a taxing one, given that the tax collecting targets have been proving to be out of reach of the taxman's arms.